It's always stressful. I don't have money to pay for something.
Back in April, President Biden announced the Uniting for Ukraine campaign. It allows American families to apply to be a sponsor for Ukrainian families, providing them temporary housing while they get on their feet. But the problem is that Ukrainian families are meeting roadblocks in trying to start their own lives. ABC 10 News reporter Sofia Hernandez sat down with one family who says now they're just asking for help.
The Sipchekno family came to the U.S. in June. Through a local organization called Slavic Services, they were able to be paired with a sponsor family for 2 weeks.
It was a very big help for all family.
Vitalina says her family of 4 then went to a second home for 3 weeks and are now in this home for a month. But it's not picture perfect.
I look at the calendar and look at this day when person who give opportunity to leave me just temporarily tell me you have to go in this day. It's always frustrated for me. It's always stressful for me.
Vitalina is trying to provide for her twin and 60-year-old parents, but she can't get a work permit, and neither can they, which means they can't pay for rent, groceries, or transportation.
Ask God, help me, please give me more patience to go in this way, which you give opportunity me to come here. I mean, it's still difficult.
And they are not the only family in this predicament. Christina with Slavic Services says a work permit could take up to 8 months to get. That's not including the time it takes to get approved for a temporary Social Security or other legal documentation.
They're supposed to support themselves somehow, but they cannot work. So it's like unbelievable. And also, like most of the host family, they won't host them for this so long term, it's also responsibility.
Which means that Vitalina is already trying to think of where they will pack their bags to next.
I had a very great my life there in Ukraine, but I'm not coming here and tell, oh, I was on a business there, or I want to be on a business now. I am ready for any job here. I just want to have opportunity to pay my rent, to pay everything here by myself.
Scouring to find any job she can do just to find a place of their own.
Big help for me to have opportunity to pay for everything and to make my next step in this country.
Sofia Hernandez, ABC 10 News.
If you would like to learn how you can apply to be a sponsor or help families like Vitalina's, you can visit our website, 10news.com. And here's the latest on the war in Ukraine, which is nearing its 6-month mark. Denmark and the United Kingdom committed to send more aid to Ukraine for weapons, equipment, and training. This comes as new satellite images show the damage to a Russia airbase in Crimea, which destroyed several aircrafts. It was hit by explosions earlier this week, which is raising doubts that Russia can protect territory it has control of in southern Ukraine. That is new video showing the moment a house exploded in Indiana, killing 3 people. This was from a neighbor's doorbell camera. The blast happened yesterday, and investigators are looking into what caused it. It also caused widespread damage to other homes. The American Red Cross is stepping in to help the families left homeless. Tomorrow, the House is expected to pass the Inflation Reduction Act in another bid to ease rising costs for Americans. It already passed the Senate last weekend. The multi-billion-dollar package calls for lower health care and prescription costs and combating climate change. We spoke with local Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs today about what could be the largest investment in climate change the federal government has ever made.
We will get to reducing our carbon emissions by 40% by 2030. That is huge. That gets us back on the path of the Paris Climate Accords and will be really important in making sure that there's a world that's livable for my future children.
We also reached out to Congressman Darrell Issa for comment on the bill and are waiting to hear back. We'll be tracking tomorrow's vote and let you know what happens. It's a welcome sign for drivers coast to coast. For the first time since March, the price of gas nationally is averaging under $4.
American drivers, they can look at this as a bit of a threshold. We are now below that $4 barrier where a lot of people have decided they're going to change their driving habits. They're going to change their lifestyle.
Meanwhile, consumers aren't getting breaks yet on food and electricity prices. Both rose again in July. But as for those gas prices, the White House says those should continue to come down a little more. And here's where our local gas prices stand. The average price for regular dropped another 1.5 cents to $5.37 a gallon, according to AAA. That's $1 less than what we were paying in mid-June, but it is still just over $1 more than the price a year ago. This marks the 57th straight day of price drops in our county. Hugs and kisses all around at NAS North Island as the USS Abraham Lincoln pulled into port this morning. ABC 10 News photojournalist Lyle McCarty and reporter Marie Cornell were dockside for the homecoming and bring us those uplifting moments.
After 7 months, the USS Abraham Lincoln has returned to its home port of NAS North Island after a routine deployment.
The moment I've been waiting for, speechless.
This is the first time Brian Farber met his newborn daughter, a milestone mom Rebecca has been thinking about for months.
The dread of him leaving before and now just waiting and thinking about it has been, it's almost unbearable, but then, we have this baby to keep me going.
Brian is one of the sailors serving on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln is the centerpiece for the strike group, which is made up of 6 ships and 75,000 sailors and Marines. This deployment took the USS Abraham Lincoln through ports of the Indo-Pacific and the Middle East. This was a milestone deployment for the ship's CO, Amy Barnschmidt, who was the first woman to command a U.S. aircraft carrier. She says the combination of her training and staff made this first mission successful.
There is a lot of schooling that gets you most of the way there, but nothing is quite the same as being here and doing it.
Now that the USS Abraham Lincoln is back, she'll go through routine maintenance while the crew prepares for the next mission. Reporting from NAS North Island, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Russia is confirming for the first time today that negotiations are underway for a prisoner exchange. This comes after the U.S. proposed a deal to release WNBA star Brittany Griner and former Marine Paul Whelan. The U.S. offered to trade a Russian arms dealer currently serving a 25-year sentence in Illinois. In the meantime, Griner's lawyers are planning to appeal her 9-year prison sentence in Russia. The FDA has found a way to stretch the country's monkeypox vaccine supply from 440,000 to more than 2 million. But the question obviously is, does it now provide the same amount of protection? This week, the agency approved giving the vaccine between layers of skin rather than under the skin like other shots. And this makes the vaccine more potent, requiring just 1/5 of the normal dose. Now, it is similar to how a tuberculosis test is given and leaves behind the same side effects, which is redness, swelling, and itching around the injection site. Data shows administering vaccines this way can actually be more effective, but there will be a learning curve.
The folks who are giving it are going to have to use different needles, draw up different amounts. So there's going to be an element of training that's going to have to go along with it.
Vaccines will still be allowed under the skin for people under 18 who are at high risk for monkeypox. An interesting metaphor from Moderna CEO. He says that COVID vaccines will evolve like the iPhone. He says that Moderna is hoping to create a 1-dose annual shot for COVID. You think like the flu and other respiratory issues. He hopes that it will be ready within the next 5 years. Now, getting a wheelchair fixed can be time-consuming and complicated.
All of these companies, they want to sell, they don't want to repair, and we need the government to make policies so that it is more attractive to repair than to sell.
The action one state has taken to fix this and the push to get others to follow. Getting a wheelchair fixed can often take weeks or months, and disability advocates say that's because the companies that make wheelchairs don't share repair manuals and parts, and that makes it very difficult for third-party repair companies to do the work. Jesse Cohen found there is a solution that disability advocates say would help, but only one state has done it so far.
For more than 30 years, Bruce Gogan has been wheelchair-bound. And that chair has become a more prominent lifeline over the years as multiple sclerosis has continued to take away his mobility.
When the only thing you can move is your head like that, every little thing is a big loss.
Disability advocacy has always been a big part of his life. Getting arrested at a protest is where he met his wife, Robin Bolduc.
And along the way, we've always been involved with public policy. It's kind of core to our marriage, I guess.
Yes.
So as life has shown them how difficult it is to get Bruce's wheelchair repaired, they knew they needed to push for more permanent change. Historically, manufacturers of these chairs do not provide customers or independent repair shops with the parts, tools, software, or paperwork needed to perform any repair services. The only way to get a problem fixed is to go through them, and it can take weeks or months.
When Bruce doesn't have a wheelchair, he's in bed. And there's really nothing he can do there, and it risks, because he's not moving, it risks pneumonia, and it risks, of course, bed sores.
This couple is a huge reason why Colorado has become the first state in the country to have a right to repair law. But their powerful story certainly came at a cost.
And the frustrating part is the first time we had a major breakdown, they decided it was a motor, but they couldn't find a motor. This is like a national company, probably international company, couldn't find a motor for their brand new chair.
The companies that predominantly control the multi-billion-dollar power wheelchair industry are owned by private equity firms. Those wheelchair suppliers have contracts with health insurance plans and restrict access to repair materials. Disability advocates say companies often wait until Medicare or insurance companies approve repair claims before ordering necessary parts, which aren't always kept on hand. This law requires them to provide customers with the tools and information necessary to fix their chairs.
All of these companies, they want to sell, they don't want to repair, and we need the government to make policies so that it is more attractive to repair than to sell.
Julie Riskin is the co-executive director of the Colorado Cross Disability Coalition. She's proud of the progress Colorado has made, but says it won't mean much if other states don't follow suit.
We're hoping that our Attorney General will step up. He has a good record on consumer protection, and we're hoping that he'll see our community is worthy of that protection.
She says they need to be held accountable for both providing the specs and information needed to repair a chair, but also by manufacturing the necessary parts.
What a lot of these companies do also is they'll sell a chair, and then they just start changing stuff every year, and then they'll say, oh, now you need a new chair because we're not servicing the parts anymore, even though the chair is totally functional.
When something needs to be fixed, there are few temporary options available for people who use a wheelchair.
And for a lot of us who use what we call complex rehab, our chairs are made to our body specifications. So it's not like you can go rent a chair.
Power wheelchair users have long been fighting for their right to repair, something that has infringed on their mobility for decades, and they say still does in 49 states.
Reminds me of something that Herbert Humphrey said.
The test of a country is how it treats its most vulnerable citizen.
Bruce and Robin say now is the time to change how those citizens are treated in this country and put lives before profit. In Broomfield, Colorado, I'm Jesse Cohen reporting.
This 10 News Pinpoint Weather Report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Nobody wows clients like we do.
Vanessa mentioned that the humidity may have gone down just a little bit, and I think I
bit.
felt it. I thought it was
Yeah.
my imagination. but
It's
no.
not your imagination. The numbers don't lie, Lindsay. Again, we're still warm and muggy outside, but the relative humidity, it's a little less as far as percentage-wise, and we'll show you those numbers in just a moment. I will tell you where everyone is beating the heat, though, and that's along the beaches. Here's a live look at the packed PB Skycam right now. A lot of people paddling out and also just swimming. Right now, current temperature is 77 degrees. And it's pretty breezy. We have that onshore flow, winds out of the northwest of about close to 15 miles per hour. In case you're wondering, how warm is that water? How brave are those people in the water? Well, not too brave. In fact, it's actually kind of warm, spanning from Oceanside down to IB. We're trending in the mid to low 70s as far as water temperatures go. And we're looking at a west swell bringing in sets anywhere from 3 to 4 feet, again, spanning from Oceanside all